Hello and welcome to Fish Fingers and Custard, the Explosion Network's Doctor Who after show, where we talk about and discuss each and every episode. My name's Dylan Blight. Joining me, Azhur Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here to talk about universes upon universes and
Multiverse, all about 2021.
It's multiverses. It's all everybody wants and all everybody's going to get.
In every movie and show you watch, there shall be, and always will be, a multiverse. Yes. Yeah. So, Chapter 5, Survivors of the Flux. Directed by Azhur, Saleem, written by Chibnall. Synopsis. As the forces of evil mass, the Doctor, Yaz, and Dan face perilous journeys and seemingly insurmountable obstacles in their quest for survival. What do you think of this week's episode, Ash?
Yeah, pretty good. We got Yaz and Dan trekking around almost across around the world in 80 days esque, like going around ships, throwing dead bodies off boats, vandalizing places, all to turn out to get back to the old dude who's been showing up all season. And then, we got the Doctor getting a lot of answers about the division, but not all the answers, and then also being cut with the Grand Serpent, infiltrating units since the beginning. Lots of interesting, backstory and that kind of stuff throughout the episode. So, yeah, it was an interesting watch, I thought, lots of interesting ideas and stuff, I think.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think we're at a stage where it's it feels like I'm just being told a lot and not really I don't know, it's less. It feels less like you're watching an episode of a TV show and more like you're just watching scenes to explain the finish we'll eventually reach. But fortunately, I'm intrigued in that finish and the direction the show's going, so it works for me. I'm keen to see how it all wraps up. But yeah, it's just a lot of information, connecting bits, tidbits, here's why unit fucked off a couple years, 2 years ago. I gotta go dark, smashes the phone. Lots of just explaining little bits here and there, and then some things obviously still we've got one episode left of the season to go. But I really did enjoy Yaz, Dan, and whatever the professor's name is, Jericho, Professor Eutatius Jericho. Shoutouts. I enjoyed their little Indiana Jones, 80 days across the world sort of sequence of stuff. There's definitely potential there for, I don't know, a spin-off or a comic book or something. Something a bit fun with those characters there. And you do get to see a nice Yaz moment between, not really between her and the Doctor, but
kind of.
It is between them, but not actually together sort of thing, which was good to see. And it really makes it. I feel like that moment sort of cemented that Yaz is sort of done. Maybe by the end of this, enough to have confirmed she's going to be in the specials or next year's stuff. But it really felt like if she's not done by the end of this season, then she'll be done at the New Year's special. So that's how it felt to me anyway. Also, I feel bad for Dan. I'm like, how the fuck did you go from I'll come for one more ride to here,
being stuck in the 1900s?
And having to go for all this, nearly be killed by spikes in a underground pyramid thing or whatever they were breaking into them, a sanctum. There's a lot going on there between them, but that's probably the more fun, lighthearted stuff. Obviously, between
them going to see the guru and the
guru who just fucks with them.
He's just teasing them,
Yeah.
To be fair, it was rude that they didn't bring anything.
I mean, it makes sense, but I just love that you didn't even bring the latest Conan Doyle novel or whatever. Funny bits there. And then of course with the do I want to say hold on, with Yaz and all them, and then finally coming into that underground dude who they kept running into, or we kept seeing all season, and his whole bit simply being I'm randomly found these doors and I've been searching for people who can help me or whatever. Like, and now he's just disappeared again. And I guess for the entire, like, I don't see any reason for that character to come back at this point. Like, it really feels like, okay, that was a bit
hopefully
of a,
for the rest of the series, he's just walking around, popping up all over the place.
I was like, was that really all that all that led to? But sure. The unit thing I think was interesting. Sort of having that the what was he called? The Royal Serpent? No, the
Grand Serpent.
The Grand Serpent. Yeah, so this dude played by Craig Parkinson, who we met in episode 2, I think, and then disappeared.
So,
or was it
episode 1? It was the Once Upon a Time. Once Upon Time. So he's the guy that Vinda was
talking to,
protecting. Yeah, who was he was whistleblowing on. Which is interesting because what does that mean
in the larger scale of everything? Yeah. Time will tell. Maybe literally.
Clearly.
But yeah, there was some interesting little segments. Although I did, after a while, I'm like, why hasn't anyone questioned this guy's age until finally, obviously, Kate does it. But I'm like, surely she wouldn't have been the first. And I guess maybe she wasn't.
He keeps killing people off and doctoring stuff.
Yeah. So I presume that's it. But his long play is simply to get into unit so he can.
He wants to be the head of unit.
Team up with the Sontarans to destroy Earth or something.
Seems to be, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know the long-term plan there. And he thinks he knows everything else that's happening in the galaxy, but it's like also the Flux is now just going to take out the galaxy if you do that. So I don't really know what the go is, but we got some funny scenes or some interesting back and forth scenes between him and the commander dude, which was fun to watch. And then obviously you get Kate returning at the end, which really really good to see. And her little badass hearing the bomb inside of a door, run away. And yeah, again, just I found it so funny. Just that rings Osgood's like, hey Osgood, gotta go dark. Fucking snaps the phone in half.
Yeah.
And my brain for a hot second
2017
Osgood, I remember that name.
2017 still using a flip phone.
Yeah, they can use old technology. They can't track it. You know what I mean? Is that how it works? Usually in these movies and TV shows. The older the technology, less likely it is.
I still think you'd prefer to have a smartphone if you're on you're on a secret mission. Wouldn't you want to have? What's more important, people not being able to track you, or you'd be able to quickly Google something?
Either or. So then she goes into hiding for 4 years, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to rock back up in 2021 after the Sontaran invasion, according to the Next Time On trailer, where she's leading the fight back against the Sontarans taking over Earth or whatever. And this, by the way, just not skip too far ahead, but the Next Time trailer, it just reminded me heavily of that arc. Remember when David Tennant was captured by the Master and turned into a weird fucked up baby head jar thing?
I don't remember that last part.
Don't you remember? He kept this. Anyway, the whole Earth was taken over or whatever. It's similar. For some reason, I was getting vibes of that storyline, even though it's not quite the same. But I can't remember what arc that was, but that was the story. And then, of course, you have the Doctor, who I still don't fully understand. So she was literally turned into an angel to then be transported through time, because angels can travel through time or something.
That's the gist. Yeah, from what I understand.
Yeah, because they do a quick blah blah blah. Don't think about it too much. We're here. They don't really spend too much time explaining anything that's going on.
I mean, maybe they're the only things that can transport across universes.
Which is the thing. So, let's start here. So, then what looks like a TARDIS. You've got an Ood there, which is cool to see. Shout outs, love Oods. Haven't seen them for a while. Great to see. And then we get Barbara Flynn, who's playing Tectune, I think is how they say it. Tectune, who is the Doctor's adoptive mother, is what the story goes. and she's also the head of. Sorry, what's it called again?
The division.
The division. She's the head of the division, who is a. We go over information we already knew, which is that the division is a place that works with all sorts of species and aliens and whatever. And it works for all time. And the Illuminati, yeah. And that what they've been doing is they've basically been doing the opposite of what we've been told the Doctor does and the Gallifreyans do throughout history, which is they've been interfering at all points to shape events in history and push certain races and planets or what have you into doing certain events and helping mold the past, present, and future. So literally interfering left, right, center. That is the division's divine plan. The Doctor was a part of it at some stage. We know this. It is based off and from Gallifreyans is where it started. So they heavily imply it started with probably the Doctor and Tech-Tune or whatever, like my mother, daughter, mother, son, whatever the fuck, whatever you want to call it. Duo doing this thing, starting off is what it seems to be implying. At some stage, the Doctor's memories are wiped with a fog watch, which I don't think we've seen in the show since the David Tennant arc thing with the master.
Don't think so.
No, that's the last time I remember. I don't think we've seen it since then, which, great story. I'm sure a lot of people remember it for that because that's automatically what I was thinking of as soon as I saw it. I was like, yes, don't need to explain to me what's going on here. So her older memories prior to, I guess, the first Doctor, like I guess everything prior to that is locked in that is the implication of what we're being told via this. Including her actual real childhood that she doesn't remember, which again, they 100% with this episode, they don't try and backtalk this whole timeless child thing. They actually nail it in more or less by Tech-Tune, whatever, explaining that yes, she found the Doctor, the story the Master told is true. She found the Doctor outside this black hole, took her back to Gallifrey, blah, 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 blah. The rest we got told all adds up. Anyway, division, yada, yada, yada. All this stuff the Doctor can't remember, presumably locked inside this fob watch. She's then told that she'll get the fob watch if she agrees to come back to the division with her. Again, sort of implying that the Doctor, yes, was like sort of there from the beginning and part of the division until she got her memories wiped and ran away or whatever. And then in comes old mate Swarm and Azhur, and they kill stepmummy, or I guess we presume they're all dead, right? Well, they turn them into space dust or whatever. And that's sort of where the episode ends, with the Doctor sort of like wanting the fob watch, but stuck here, not really know what's going on. Oh, another thing is, of course, big detail is that the base of operations in the space station that they're in, that again looks like a TARDIS on the inside, is in a place between two universes. It's like it's in a weird, like the outer ring. It's neither in one universe or another. Everyone on Twitter is like, oh my God, multiverse confirmed for Doctor Who. I'm like, they literally sent a character in season
4.
What, 3? 4.
3.
Was it 3? I can't remember. It's been a while. But they literally sent a character to a completely different universe. Like, is this is not I'm sure maybe there's even other times that they've talked about this stuff that I can't remember. But like, I was not blown away by the concept of multiverses. I'm intrigued to see if the show will start then playing around with them more and using them as a thing going forward as like a main point of discussion or to explore. They're like, man, the galaxy's got too small after however many years of doing this show, 50 years.
Like,
they're like,
let's stop doing time. Let's do like random alternate history stuff.
Let's go full on multiverse. Let's fucking do it, which whatever works, I guess. It's interesting. Again, it opens up the idea of Billy Piper returning technically when Russell T Davies comes back, which I did joke about, but now it's like, well, maybe. maybe that's the thing.
Billy Piper and David Tennant, essentially.
That's true. Yeah, you get the alt. You can get the alt David Tennant. So
yeah,
it's true.
That's what the people want. They'll get their ratings.
Everyone wanted that spin-off show, so never happened. Yeah, how
just a spin off like drama. Like
this is drama. There's no sci-fi.
Just a soap. There's no sci-fi stuff. It's anything. It's just that Doctor and Rose just hanging out, eating chips.
How do you feel about all this Division Doctor? What all of this?
It's a lot. It's like, okay, yeah. Like they're rewriting the entire history of the Doctor again. And then you also throw in that the Division's been altering history, so the history is the way it is now, which I guess explains a lot. Given the last couple of years, it's like, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It's like kind of interesting ideas, and I guess it'll be interesting to see how it kind of all comes together next week. That'll be the key. If like, is it kind of creating this blank slate for Chibnall Davies when he comes in? So hopefully everything is resolved by the time, or it is complete.
Do you think it's going to be resolved by the time we get to the end of the season, or do you think it's going to be resolved by the time we get to the end of next year's run of specials?
I think by the specials. I think
yeah.
We'll have some sort of idea.
Do you think she's opening the fob watch next episode?
I don't think she gets to.
Okay.
My hunch is the fob watch gets destroyed, so she never gets her memories back.
I feel like that's what people would want, but I also feel like at that stage, a lot of people would be like, why have I watched this entire show this season? Like, that was the whole point is she's been searching. Like, the show starts with the Doctor searching for answers, and then the flux happens. But she was mid-searching for answers. Like, the whole thing is the Doctor wants answers. So if she doesn't get them, is that good or bad? I don't really. I don't know. It's good for the show because people can pretend that this stuff doesn't exist. Who hate this whole only child, silent child, whatever the fuck it's called.
Timeless.
Timeless child. Yeah, that thing.
Apparently, she just found a near wormhole. That's it.
Yep. Well, here we go. There's two theories for this. Let's loop back to one that you've brought up previously, which is making more and more sense as the show continues. You're saying people online were like, oh yeah, Belle, Vinda, parents. I was like, nah, I don't think that's a thing. Now that we're up to one episode left and those characters still have absolutely no point in the show really other than for that to be a payoff at this point, I'm a little bit more on board to that being something because at this stage I'm like, look, Belle seems cool as a character. Thaddeus Graham, who plays Belle, she seems great. However, why is this character in this show? There's we're 4 episodes in and it really just seems like random scenes that have nothing to do with anything else that's happening. There's really no point to it. Her and Vinda's love story is like sweet and all, but there's really no point to it. It doesn't connect to anything else that's going on. Unless, that theory does become true and then the baby she has is actually the Doctor, and then by the end of the series, the Doctor's left, that baby's left somewhere, and then it's like a full time loop thing or whatever they want to call it. That's one direction. The alternate direction that I thought of when watching this episode, which would be a wild direction to take it, which is just simply that the Doctor is actually from a different universe completely.
Yeah.
And was shot through for some reason. So then the Doctor has to go to a different universe to find true answers, because then that leaves them open for, they could technically, to make fans who are super upset by this whole Timeless Child thing, they could loop back and like tick both boxes by saying like all of what we said was true, but also in a different universe, like Gallifrey is actually what you know, or so, you know what I mean? Like,
no, it's like, yeah, she goes to another universe where there actually is a Gallifrey that's still the same, and like she could potentially go to an Earth that's never experienced the Doctor before.
Yeah. So I feel like they like potentially working towards best of both worlds, which I don't really know if is good or bad. It's probably bad, like trying to please everyone and not just tell whatever story you want to tell, I guess, at this stage. But I don't know. At least I haven't like pulled away from it. I'll tell you what though, the second that lady turned up, Tecton or whatever, remember I was saying like people wildly on Twitter the other week being like, man, it's like that lady that was behind in that one scene when Timothy Dalton was there or whatever. I was like, holy shit, it's that lady. And then I was like, it's not. It's like, I went straight to IMDb. It's like, is it the same actress? Yes. I couldn't. It's like, that would have been wild. Yeah. Anything else? Like anything wild?
You also met Dan's love interest again.
Oh, that's right. She's
Vinda Ransom-Doyle. After
Vinda
they
got
they got whatevered.
Vinda got Thor
Transported
monster
or whatever by the dude.
destroyed or whatever they call him. Yeah, I don't remember the name of that thing. Anyway, it shoots them all, and they go to this heaven
Other place.
universe. Yep. So maybe that's where the Dusted people go too. I don't know.
Yeah, where the Azhur people like took that massive group of people like the other episode.
So yeah, what's the pay for them, do you reckon?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like this last episode needs to do a lot.
Yeah, it needs to be like
unless they're going to leave it open to continue finishing a lot of these in the specials.
I feel like so the last episode has to give a satisfactory ending, which I feel like at this stage, I feel like the Doctor has to get the memories back. I feel like surely, I just feel like you give them memories, but you can still have a lot of questions even with the memories. Surely, like a lot of unanswered things or whatnot. I don't know. I just feel like if you're going to do 2 seasons leading up to this, then to destroy the watch and be like, nah, fuck it. The moral of the story is like,
except who you are now.
Yeah, that's who you are now. I'd be like,
kill the past. Live the past. Kill it if you have to.
Yeah. But I feel like there's still plenty they could leave open to be explored in specials and stuff. Surely going forward. I don't know. Like I just you have to get. It's weird. There's so much happening in this little series, so many little things, and especially connected to the last 2, the whole Chibnall run. It's like a lot of it's weighing on how it'll be looked back upon. Is like weighing upon how this episode wraps up. I guess to a degree. Like,
I don't know how it is because obviously we see like they got all the Centaurans they've got to deal with, and apparently Daleks show up. It's like
Cybermen.
Cybermen, how are you going to deal with all that?
I have no idea. I guess a lot of that might be just like Kate, Yaz, Dan dealing with invasions and stuff. Like that's their sort of thing happening, and the Doctor's dealing with the Swarm and Azhur and her memories or whatnot. And then especially if a bunch of the episodes, if she does open the watch and she does get her memories, then it's like how much time's then devoted to these weird little flashback sequences or like a bunch of images that we don't understand and neither does she, or her brain can't comprehend it. Like it's just a lot, to be honest. So ultimately, I think I don't know if this is good or not. I'm at this stage of it. I'm like, I have no idea if this is a good story because we've got 1 episode left for it to wrap up, and then I can be like, I don't know, like I guess that was good or whatever. But like, I'm enjoying watching it. I definitely like woke up early this morning, press play so I can watch it before work, and I was like glued to the screen the entire time because there's always something happening, like some wild shit is happening on the like crazy stuff's happening. So I'm definitely going to be waking up next Monday like super keen to see how this wraps up at this stage or doesn't wrap up or either or. I'm keen to see how we go, and then what sort of cliffhangers left open for the New Year's specials. We don't get Christmas specials anymore, but New Year's special, I guess.
I bet you Davies brings it back.
When was the last one? I actually don't even remember. Like,
I think it was what's his before
Stephen Moffat.
Yeah,
the superhero one's the last one. I can remember that was at Christmas.
I think so.
Was that it? Random question. Try and find the answer. Well, that's because I can't remember.
No, was it the River Song? Oh no, that was the year before. I think
that was the year before, because then it was like the superhero one was just random nonsense thing. Wasn't that the last Capaldi one? No, I think so.
Well, maybe it's Twice Upon a Time, where he runs back into the first Doctor.
Oh, that's right. And that was the last Christmas one. Then they switched to New Year's.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. I forgot about that. That was actually all right. I don't mind that one. It was fun. Did you, by the way, random note as we wrap up this podcast, did you watch that? You remember that they did that movie where Flickwick played the first Doctor? Like that. I mean, like it's a movie about Doctor Who, like the show.
No, I didn't watch that.
It was actually pretty good. As a side note, because that all came out around the same time. So
around the 50th special, whatever.
Yeah. So it was good. All right. Thank you for joining us this week's episode. Fish Fingers Custard. Be back next week to talk about the finale, and then back like a month later to talk about the New Year's special. So a few more Doctor Who discussions to happen over the next month or so. But until next week when we find out what the flux is happening in this show.
What the flux is, yeah.